Tales from the Milkwood Lounge presents Torrential Trauma, a GURPS Horror actual play podcast, starring Ethan as a professional gambler, Carlo Grimaldi.
Look, hey, I'll tell you what, Peaches, something like this would take time. And this doesn't look like any sort of gator thing. This is something else.
Eric as Baltimore police detective, Sam Winters.
Nobody leaves this room. Do you understand that?
Josh as Wandering Holy Man, Adam Roman.
This is what the darkness looks like. This is what it does to our humanity.
Gabriel as U.S. Army helicopter mechanic, Sergeant Peaches.
I believe him. As crazy as that sounds, I believe him.
And lastly, me, your host and GM, Brett Calhoun. Please note that this podcast will contain mature themes and language, which may not be suitable for a younger audience. Enjoy. We are in the small town of Tallahassee, Alabama. Place that is relatively in southern Alabama. It is raining substantially. The current temperature is a high of 86 with a low of 69, with a heavy rain coming down substantially. Starting out, our camera pans to the interior of a car that is making its way down the kind of rain-soaked streets. And in fact, the occupant of this car can tell that these streets are very quickly overflowing. There seems to be a flood here. And in fact, Gabe will be introducing your character first, as this is your car. Could you just describe your character and who you are?
I'm Sergeant Jefferson. I'm going to guess that's Peach.
Yeah.
I go by Peaches. I am a soldier, currently stationed at Fort Carson, but I am en route back to Colorado. I just went to a kind of an antique car show. I'm a small town boy from Iowa. I did some sad work in my hometown before I enlisted in the Army in 2011 as a radio operator. Yeah, and I am currently in a bad driving situation. And I think, Brett, I'm gonna. I don't know if I'm familiar with this town. I doubt it.
You're not. This was a place that you were passing through, and in fact, as you're checking the radio stations, most of them are not working. However, you finally get to one, and it mentions that the suspected tropical storm that was kind of swirling about in the Gulf of Mexico and was expected not to even reach Alabama has instead escalated substantially into a much higher tier hurricane, and it is making its way essentially straight into Tallahassee. And you've been directed, per the radio, to make your way to the nearest shelter. And you were aware, based off of checking your phone and such before internet connectivity started to go down, that the nearest one was a hospital that is on the western side of Tallahassee. And so you're trying to make your way there as quickly as you can. However, the rain is making the streets quite slick. Thankfully, your vehicle is quite good. The streets are pretty deserted. And, mind you, we're speaking about the highway. However, you do suddenly see something as you're rounding a corner. Something catches your eye. I'm going to need a driving check from you.
Oh my God. Okay.
Oh my God, I've lost. I don't know how to drive anymore.
I'm not very good at this. Success by 0, buddy.
Excellent. So you managed to get your car to a halt, or at least so that you can see what you're seeing. You see an armored car is flipped onto its side in a ditch, on the road. The same go. It was going the same direction that you were, and it's on in a ditch, and there seems to be like rain pouring down on it and stuff. It's completely turned on its side.
Are there any flares on the road or like the signaling triangles? Like, is it evident that somebody has reported, like, is trying to get attention from somebody else?
You don't see any signs of flares whatsoever. In fact, that's why I made the driving check. As it looks like it plowed right through the barrier, and some of the barrier's poking out now. If you had kept barreling straight forward, conceivably you could have banged into that barrier yourself that's jutting out and totaled your car.
Well, I'll flip on the hazards real quick and see if anybody is injured and if anybody needs help.
Okay. Excellent.
So I'm gonna pull off to the side, flip on the hazards, and then as I get out of the car, hey, is anybody there? Anybody need help? Is anybody hurt?
Let me do a quick perception check for you. You don't seem to notice anything, with the exception of, well, there's one thing you do notice. However, it's very dark out. The light poles aren't close enough really for you to get good visibility without a flashlight or anything.
Wouldn't you know it though? In my inventory, I have a heavy flashlight.
Okay, excellent. You switch that on, and as you pan over the truck, you hear no response to your calls. And I will say that there's quite a bit of swamp around here, but you're fine where you're at. Are you standing outside your vehicle, or are you like actually?
Yeah, I'll
still
be in the rain.
Okay. You see that the back of the armored car, one of the doors is kind of banged open.
Like, it looks like somebody from the outside did damage enough to open it?
Based off your perception check, you can't tell. The van has taken a substantial amount of damage.
First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the driver's side window and poke my flashlight in there.
Okay, that is going to be difficult, as once again, it's overturned on its side. So you could...
Oh, okay. You're right. I don't know. Can I give you like a... Can I just look in through the front of it? Like,
yeah,
can I
absolutely.
Get and look in that way?
You pan your flashlight through the cracked windshield, and you do see that there is somebody inside. However, they're kind of slumped down on the ground, but you see a silhouette of a figure that's like at the very base ground level of the armored van.
Okay. Hold on a second. Can I give you a climbing roll to try and get to the top of it and open the door and try and get the person out?
Absolutely. However, how are you going to do that with the flashlight in hand? Or are you going to just try with one hand? Or
I am obviously going to put the flashlight in between my teeth.
This is a heavy flashlight, just to be.
And I have a strong jaw.
Okay. Do you have weak bite? What do you
Yeah.
have?
I do not have weak bite. I have a perfectly normal bipedal bite.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right. Yeah. Give me a climbing roll. This is going to be at a -1 penalty, just due to the rain pouring down.
Sure.
It's a bit slick.
Well, success by 2.
All right. So you navigate your way up there. You're fairly high up, I will say. Just remember, because it's overturned and stuff. So you're standing kind of looking down. The door, the window to the door that of the armored car has been broken open. And I mean, when I say that, I mean like it's just completely shattered. It doesn't, like, not wanting to give incorrect inference here on this.
Yeah. The window's shattered. Gotcha.
Yeah. And so you kind of peer your flashlight down, and you see like the form of what's clearly a guard. And actually, as like I should mention this is a Alabama State Prisons van. And you see that emblazoned on the side of the van now that you're kind of closer up. There was some mud obscuring it when you were further away. And this guy clearly is a prison transport driver.
Well,
He seems unresponsive.
Okay. Well, here we go. I'm gonna pull him. I'm gonna open this door,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna try and pull that guy out.
All right, you're gonna have to descend down. So give me yet another climbing roll. This one though will be at a +1 instead of a penalty.
Got it. I will
This is
take
really
my
just
time.
speaking to gentleness. Like, I mean, you could hop down there, but you might land on top of him.
Failed by 1.
It's fine. So you clamber down, and at one point you kind of like slip on the wheel as you're like trying to find a place to like put your foot down. But I mean, generally speaking, you're able to get down to where he's at. Upon closer inspection, now that you're essentially, knee to face with him, kind of standing over him, you can see what you didn't see before. The complete right side of his face is mangled. This guy is a corpse.
Oh damn. Can I grab? Can I like reach around and try and grab his wallet?
Absolutely.
I can do. I don't have. Well, I do have scrounging. You want me to scrounge for this dude's wallet?
Oh yeah, give me a scrounging roll, yeah.
Boom! Success by 2.
Okay. So yeah, you kind of go over his pockets and such. You do find you find a pair of handcuffs that seems to be in working order, as well as a key that would go with it, if you so want to have that. Additionally,
I
you
will be taking the handcuffs.
Okay. You also find his wallet that has both his regular driver's license, his security ID. He even has like a wallet photo of him, and apparently he had 3 kids.
Damn.
And this guy, his name is Todd Hitchens.
Okay, hold on. Todd Hitchens wallet.
There's also another thing that have found in your scrounging.
Okay.
You have found kind of next to his body is a it's a binder of sorts, and on it is kind of like a transportation manifest.
I'm curious, and I don't need to roll for that. Who was this man transporting?
The person being transported was a convicted criminal by the name of Dennis Krill.
Dennis Krill. I'm gonna clamber back out of this.
Well, let me describe the rest of it. Unless you're
Sure.
just seeing that and then just immediately bolting.
No.
but that's
I'm gonna take the binder with me.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'll read the rest of the binder, the
Okay.
dossier.
Yeah. So the dossier says that this man, along with 2 others, was convicted of 3 homicides as part of an armed robbery gang out in Montgomery, and they like to break in to married couples, primarily elderly couples' homes, and they would usually like bound and gag them, rob the place, and in this case, Dennis Krill seemed to have a substantial temper, and so he was convicted of executing the husbands in these cases.
Oh, good.
They do have a description of him, which is that he has short brown hair, a hooked nose. He's a Caucasian male. Obviously, he's wearing a striped prison garb.
Okay.
And yeah, that is. Oh, and there is one other note in there. Is that he seemed to enjoy torturing people, his victims.
Very cool. I will now, if it is amenable to you, I'd like to climb out. Do you want me to roll climbing again to leave the vehicle?
I'm going to say for the sake of you climbing out, you should be fine. You've got plenty of handholds, footholds to get out. You might have some difficulty getting down without a climbing or jumping roll.
I'll just jump.
Okay. Well, give me a jump roll.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. No. You jump onto the soft mud. A great, standing jump, and you keep your footing all the way through, and so there's no problem here whatsoever.
The final
And-
thing before I go back to my car
Mhm.
is I want to poke my head into the back of the armored car, and I want to make sure that there's nobody in there.
Okay. I think it's
and
funny
I'll-
that you want to make sure that no one's in there.
I have a small club, and I want to make sure nobody's
Okay.
in the back of it. I'll
All right.
poke my flashlight in. Is there anybody in the back of the truck?
All right. Peering down, I will say the door that was open is the one closest to the ground, so you have to lean downward to peer under there.
This is fucking awful, but yes, I will do that.
You peer under, and as you crane your flashlight around to peer under there, at first you don't see anything, but then suddenly something catches your eye. The glint of a snake slowly making its way out to investigate what is making this disturbance.
I have a fear of snakes. I don't think Sergeant Peaches does, but I will fuck off now.
Okay. All right, so you trundle back to the.
Bad role playing.
I am incapable of playing somebody who's not terrified of snakes. I will go back to my car now.
All right.
And I'm gonna get back in the car and then make my way as quickly as it is safe to the hospital, where I will be reporting this to the authorities there.
Okay. I want to note as you're kind of as you're making your way through, you hear a twig snap in deeper into the swamp, but you don't see anything when you pan your flashlight over there.
When I get back in my car, I ensure that I check all the seats.
Okay, Mr. Urban Legend. So yeah, there's nobody in your car. You're perfectly safe in your vehicle.
And when I went around the back, there was no. I checked the trunk, and there's no. The trunk is shut, and there's nobody in the back of my car.
Well, hold on here.
I'm holding.
You yeah, having like looked through your windows and stuff, you were fine. However, when you go to your trunk, peering into the back of it, because this is like a I believe you have like an SUV type vehicle.
I've got. Hold on. I think it's in my. No, it's not in my bio. It's in my.
It should be in your inventory.
It's my inventory. Yeah, it's a Ford Bronco.
Okay.
2015 Ford Bronco.
Yeah, so I believe that has like a windowed back.
Okay.
And you peer in there. It looks like your stuff has been moved.
Okay. Good. I am going to go into the trunk and find where I keep my firearm, and I'm going to grab that.
Okay. You open your trunk. Your firearm is it's there. You could have swore it was kind of stuck up against the side of your trunk, as opposed to kind of just the case seems to be further away from the side, but it's there.
I'm grabbing the handgun. It's coming with me to the driver's seat.
Okay.
And then we are going to get the fuck out of here.
Okay. All right. So you start driving. You will note as you just, I would say, absentmindedly check your phone that all signal seems to be gone at this point. The rain is coming down harder, and you take off. And this then brings us to the kind of the camera pans upward. We see a hospital atop a hill. So as you pull in, you'll find that there is a large parking lot as well as two buildings. As you pull into your right is a trauma center, an ER specifically. Okay. And it is connected to the main hospital, both of which are single-story buildings, by a sort of like glass walkway. Like imagine like
Yeah.
some type of umbilical fancy thing that you could walk to and from that separates the two facilities. The parking lot already has a bit of water that is standing as you pull in. You see that there are several cars parked there, and but as you get out, you'll see that the water is already kind of risen up to maybe about like a little bit over your toes, so to speak. And you do see though that the lights are on in the hospital. The trauma center also has lights on, but it seems to be a lot less active.
Okay. I'll head into the standard hospital. I will grab. I am bringing that firearm with me. And if you require, I can attempt to conceal it.
That's totally up to you.
I will attempt to conceal it.
I will say that also the signs do tell you to go to the hospital, not the trauma center, for emergency relief.
That makes sense. So I'm gonna stash that. I'm gonna grab the dossier, in just one of my suitcases of luggage, and I will head into the hospital, and just kind of go to check in.
Okay. So yeah, as you're doing that, we're going to go to some of our other players. So Josh, describe your character.
Yeah, Adam is a pretty disheveled-looking, schlubby dude. He's got an overcoat that's definitely seen better days with some cuts and tatters to it, and a little bit of dirt on the collar and on the cuffs as well. He's got a pretty shifty look to his eyes. He seems to constantly be glancing into corners or through mirrors into seeing what's behind or around him, but at the same time kind of refocusing his vision every few seconds. He's been in town because the whispers in the wind told him that this is where he needed to be. He has spent the day watching the storm gather. He's been, if there's a local church, Brett, he would have been in a sort of church outside the church or inside, near into that vicinity, watching the storm arrive. And he's been spending the last hour seeing the gargantuan watchers gather in the storm clouds in the sky.
Yes, and in fact, the voices have specifically told you needed to be here at this hospital, and how you got here. You hear from behind you in a thick kind of blue collar Southern accent. What you seeing out that window there, boy? And you instantly know that is Jim Holloway, who is the truck driver who was either foolish enough or kind enough, depending on who you ask, who gave you a ride into town the other day. And you happen to be looking out the window and you're seeing right now that Gabe's character, Sergeant Peach, is making his way up the steps.
Cool. I turn around to Jim and I say, "Riders on the storm, Jim. I see riders. Thank you very much for the ride." And I start to walk towards Gabe's character, towards where I see the guy walking up the steps.
Okay. We're then going to pan over quickly to another figure, a kind of brooding man in an overcoat who's sitting also in the waiting room. Eric, can you describe your character?
Yes, I sure can. Sam Winters wears a perpetual frown that puts clear, well-worn wrinkles on his face. He may be more than a few years from retirement, but he's still too old for this shit. Definitely has the look in his eyes saying maybe he's seen a little bit too much, but he's tired of seeing things that don't make any sense.
You've observed. You're sitting in the waiting room watching this interaction happen.
Very good. He definitely seems to be listening intently when people mention their names to any of the staff on hand, but otherwise just seems to be sitting back and observing.
Let's get to Ethan real quick. Ethan, describe your character.
Let's see here. I'm trying to see where I am. Oh, I'm in the extra waiting area. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I'm playing Carlo Grimaldi. He has darker features, of Italian American extraction, but has an extroverted, friendly vibe to him. He looks like if Adam Carolla had been eating a diet consisting solely of oatmeal cream pies for the past 18 months. He was on his way to a sports bar in Tallahassee, Florida, but given the fact that we're in Tallahassee, Alabama, we can only assume that he plugged in the directions wrong and ended up here.
Fat fingered it.
He fat fingered it. Would be the word for it. Yeah. And has made his way here. If you were to maybe listen on him talking loudly to whoever's around him, you would quickly pick up on the fact that he seems to be very much into sports betting.
Yeah, and unfortunately for you, for Carlo, the two gentlemen that are in extra waiting don't seem to be interested in having that conversation. One of them has a bleeding hand that is just openly bleeding.
Right, I have probably asked about that already.
Yeah, and he has not responded in any way. However, his associate has kind of given you a bit of a stony glare, and so you've just kind of kept to yourself. I will say you've probably been pacing around, so it's not like you just decided.
I'm going to start pacing. Yeah. I'll say God bless to you two gentlemen and make my way towards the other waiting area then.
Okay. And yeah, so it's, as you enter the other waiting area, you see Sergeant Peaches enter into the waiting area.
It sure is wet out there, am I right?
It's really coming down. Is there anybody that I need to check in with? The radio said that this is where we wanted to shelter at.
Yes, you hear a woman's voice. An attractive nurse approaches, and she says, "I'm Nurse Belinda Alvarez. Nice to meet you. We are pretty short-staffed. This is the last of the evacuees." And she kind of gestures towards the waiting room, and you see only a handful of people are here. And she continues on. Most of the others were transported a couple hours ago. However, just due to the fact that we weren't expecting the storm to be as bad as it is, we're sort of the last ones left. But we've been told we should be able to ride out the storm in perfect safety here. This is the highest point of the town.
I'll glance back at the parking lot that's filling with surge, but I won't say anything about it. Nurse, is there any law enforcement here on the premises right now?
I'm afraid not. At least, well, this is a good question. Eric, have you identified yourself as Baltimore Police Department?
Not yet.
Okay. Then, yeah, she'll say, I don't know. We don't have any police here. I guess you're not from around here, are you?
I'm not, and I...
You and me both, pal.
Yeah, so the Tallahassee is an interesting town, she says. It's essentially a bridge town. There's a dam that kind of goes over the river and connects two different sides of the town. And with the flooding and such, it would be pretty concerning to have that. And most of the police force is on the other side. So that's kind of been a problem.
Well, on the way in, I found an overturned prison car. I'm gonna give her the dossier and the guy's wallet.
You're kidding me. And Carlo will peek out the door as if that prison vehicle would be able to be seen right outside the door.
So actually, it's interesting that you point this out, or say that, Ethan. Carlo, as you poke your head out, you do see the a ambulance pull in, and over here. Actually, this ambulance just got here. that's out
Okay.
out front, with the lights, going off and stuff. And you see a couple people milling about and transporting some people inside.
While
Okay.
this is going on, Brett, can I get a glimpse at the nurse? Is she wearing a wedding ring?
A moment.
That's a strange question. Where is this going?
Eric is thirsty. He's thirsty, guys.
Uh,
Yes,
Yeah.
the nurse. Yes.
my objective is to have sex.
She does not have a wedding ring. I would also say that she is very much in her early 20s.
Okay.
Like granddaughter territory, but
Noted. Okay. All right. I'll stand up and I'll address Privet's character. What's your name, son?
Peaches.
Peaches. All right. Now listen, and I'll kind of look around awkwardly. I'm on vacation right now. I am a police officer from Baltimore. This is not my jurisdiction, and I'll even flash in my badge as evidence.
Okay.
You mind handing me that dossier? Why don't we take a seat over here in the side area, and you can tell me what you saw over there.
Sure. What was your name again, officer?
Name is Detective Winters.
Winters. All right.
I sort of hurry over to the both of them. Peaches, Detective Winters. I think it's going to be important that I hear what happens next, if it's okay with the both of you.
Now, were you involved in this overturned prison transit, was it?
That's what it was, detective.
Not yet, Detective. No, not yet.
I'm sorry. What's your name?
You can call me Adam.
Okay. Give us just 1 second. Why don't you? Now,
It'll be
Peaches.
important.
You got a different name I can call you by besides Peaches?
Peach. My name is Peach.
That's not very much better.
You could use the singular instead of the plural.
Okay. Peaches as it is. Now, why don't you tell me what you saw, and we'll go over what you got in the documents here.
Yeah. There was it was flipped onto its side. It looked like it had hit a barrier and was kind of off the side of the road. I saw it on the way here. This fella, I'll give him the wallet. He was the driver. He had already expired when I had found him. And this dossier was next to him. That's the guy they were transporting, I guess. There wasn't any sign of anybody in the back of it, and it looked like the door to the truck was open.
Hey, Peaches, what sort of guy were they transporting?
From the sound of it, he was not a very kind guy. He
Was there documentation in there? Pictures?
There's a description of him, and I'll hand him the dossier.
All right, I'll take a look at it. Anything stand out to me, Brett?
Give me administration.
Sure. That's a fail by 4.
Okay. So you're peering over it. You can tell that the guy is convicted. So he was definitely found guilty and sentenced to lethal injection. However, that seems to be the only thing that's caught your.
Sorry,
your
is there
eye.
a name?
Yes, there was. At the very, very top of the form, it is Dennis Krill.
Dennis Krill. That's a devil name.
I know that name. A very meek-looking woman says from the back.
You know the name Dennis Krill, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
In what regards?
Well, he was in the papers. It was all in the news and stuff about maybe 6 months ago. The trial was quite a big deal. I remember the it really made the news because he took the stand himself and he started making threats to pretty much everybody while on the stand. They had to take him down.
Peaches, how far away would you say this overturned transit vehicle was?
About how far was it, Brett?
It was maybe like a couple miles, maybe 5 miles.
Somewhere between 2 and 5 miles, detective.
Interesting.
That man's certifiably insane.
We need to be careful about who we let in here. He could try to seek refuge here with the rest of us.
He could already be here, detective.
Could be outside on that ambulance. I'm gonna go speak with them. Are they still unloading people from the ambulance, Brett?
No, they're not. However, it's as you say that, a loud crack kind of goes off, and then like followed by a boom, off in the distance. Everyone can hear it, and in fact, like it's to the point of where like the building kind of rattles a bit when you hear that.
What does it sound like? Crack, boom, like
lightning?
Like lightning, or yeah.
I'm gonna do some perception checks. Or actually, I'll let you guys do these rolls. Give me perception checks, everybody.
Happily.
This will be to help kind of determine
Suspect
what you think it is.
That sounds like the Kentucky Derby.
Uh-huh.
Sounds
like my mom coming down the stairs. What do you want?
Yeah.
big oof.
All right,
Yeah, that's a failure by 5.
so Peaches, you think it's thunder. Carlo, your claims of the Kentucky Derby sound, that checks out for you.
Sounds like a bunch of horses.
Yeah. However, for Winters and Roman, you guys hear it sounds structural, as though like a building has collapsed off in the distance somewhere. And what's crazy is almost immediately after that, as everybody's kind of like just like steadying themselves, preventing themselves from freaking out. You see water start to like a small wave of water kind of flows over the parking lot and stuff, seemingly going even deeper than it was before. In fact, I have a line here to kind of differentiate things for you.
Does this building have more than one story?
It is only a single story.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, where is this all coming from? I thought we were on a hill.
How far away is the dam?
Let me finish because we're not done yet with events. Another thing that kind of gets witnessed, and this is only by Adam, however, as Adam's next to the window, you see that the ambulance that was parked out front of the trauma center, maybe it was by the water, you're not sure. However, it moved and it essentially crashed into the front entrance of the trauma center, and it seems to now almost be kind of like wedged in.
The people who are outside of it, do we still see them?
There's nobody outside.
Okay.
They would have all been inside at this point.
So
And then there's one more event. I'm sorry, guys. One more event. This is all happening almost simultaneously, which just adds to the freak show of it. The phone begins to ring at the nurse's desk. Right, so that's it. That's all the craziness.
Does the nurse pick up the phone?
I mean, right now everybody's studying themselves and kind of being like, what was that? What was going on?
Sounds like the dam broke. Nurse, how far away is the dam? Is that what it would have sounded like?
I believe so. It's around a few miles out. If that dam broke, then
this building is it higher than the trauma center?
Oh, absolutely so. And in fact, peering down, you can tell the building is around 10 feet higher than the trauma center.
How many patients are over there in trauma right now?
I don't think barely anybody. Almost everyone was evacuated to this main hospital.
We need to make sure that no one's still over there. That building is going to be underwater soon.
Anybody who can get over there, let's go now.
I need to speak with Dr. Strong. I'll go speak with him. Although
Nurse, we got to start moving people now. If that dam broke, There's no telling how long it could be before that building's underwater.
But my Thunderbird, the upholstery.
Somebody needs to get to that phone, though. She's like kind of trying to figure
The
out,
phone.
do I go or...
All right,
There's
Sam will just walk up to the phone and pick it up and say,
Okay.
"Hospital."
All right. So you pick up the phone at the nurse's desk, and you hear static on the phone. And for a few seconds, you can't really hear anything. And then you hear, "Hello?" It sounds like
Yes.
an old man's voice.
Who is this?
Listen, I've got a warning for you. I don't know who you are, but I know this. And you hear more static. Wasn't supposed to be this way. Wasn't supposed to go down the way that it did. No, it's all wrong. It's all wrong. Listen, are you there?
Yes, who is this?
This is Pastor Remus. Listen, she's not who she says she is. You don't want to trust her. The devil's in her, and it's going to be coming for all of you. Watch yourselves. Trust in the God only. Don't trust anybody else. That thing moves, and it does something.
Where are you right now, Pastor?
I tried to stop it myself. Listen, you have to understand. I tried my best. It's up to you now.
Okay, well, just calm down and just tell me where you are right now.
I'm sorry. And then the phone goes dead. Like completely dead. Like you hear nothing.
Well, that was just about the north side of useless.
I don't
Detective
understand.
will hang up.
What was that?
This man walks up. That phone shouldn't be working.
Why do you say that?
Phone lines are down. They've been down for at least an hour or so now.
What if it was a call from within this compound?
I maybe. And you hear a door open from the other end of the room. Do you know who it was? The timid woman says.
It was the pastor.
Pastor? Did you get a name by chance?
Remus.
Pastor Remus. I know him. He lives here.
He lives here where?
He's the pastor over at Zion Baptist Church. But I don't know why he would be out here if he would be in the hospital.
How far away is the church?
Oh, that's right smack dab in town. I think I mean with the dam breaking, that church is well underwater.
He couldn't have been calling from there. Maybe he was calling somewhere much closer.
Maybe. Attention, everyone! Attention, everyone! And you see a doctor. Some of you guys have seen him before, although you didn't get a chance to really speak to him. I'm Dr. Blum. I wanted to let everyone know the state of things. The storm has done substantial damage to the hospital infrastructure. We should be fine here. However, we do have a bit of a problem as far as the trauma center. We have some personnel that are trapped there. I've sent Dr. Patel to look into things, and I'm waiting on a response from him.
We need to get people over there now and get inside. What's the trouble getting inside? Is the front door blocked?
I would imagine so. All communications have been cut off with the trauma center.
Is there any other way in besides the front door blocked by the ambulance?
The umbilical will be the only way in.
Is that underwater right now?
No, it's self-contained. It's a glass walkway. Even with the rainwater, it should protect against flooding and the like. It would be the safest way, I would imagine. Although,
what about the parking lot? Is there a chance anyone's trapped in their cars right now?
It's possible. That is something that could be looked into.
We need to do both of those things now. It's
Well,
only a matter of time
but
before these things are submerged entirely.
I understand that, sir. However, I do need to emphasize getting help from the trauma center is more important than anything else at the moment. The trauma center contains our call for emergency assistance. We're going to have to get flown out of here if things are looking the way that they are.
We'll secure access, Doctor. We understand. If anyone can gather around who can help, please do so now. Gather around the front door.
There is more information that needs to be discussed here. The reason why I sent Dr. Patel a little while ago wasn't just due to the fact that the trauma center was having issues, but it's also we have a patient that is in desperate need of medical attention in the exam room that Dr. Strong and I have been treating. With the power outages that we're having and other technical issues, we need to get the power back online. And unfortunately, that is connected to the trauma center. If we don't get that, our patient will pass away. We won't be able to keep him on life support.
Is there any way to utilize that kind of equipment in this building if it could be moved over here?
It's mainly just getting power back in. If you can get to essentially the utility closet, get the junction box to work again, we should be able to get enough power to get things back to where he's stabilized.
Anybody here know how to fix a busted junction box?
Hold on. Let me check my.
Hey, I bet I do.
Yeah, I'm an electrician.
Let me think about it for a
Hold on,
second.
let me see. Let's see. Driving construction equipment.
I have electronics repair.
That'll do it.
I think that sounds good then. I can tell you where the junction box is. I can also give you a card key that'll give you access to the rest of the facility. It'll get you into the trauma center as well.
Oh, all right.
And he'll hand that over to you.
All right. Well, I say a few of us, maybe no less than 4, no more than 6, head over to the trauma center. Meanwhile, Doctor, if you could have a few others see if they can't, if they don't mind getting a little wet, check the cars and see if there's anyone stuck in there.
We can absolutely look into that. I will say one other thing. There are some medical supplies that we are absolutely going to need for our patient. Those are all kept in cold storage, which is properly secured. I can give you the passcode, but I'd only like to give it to you.
Fine.
And so he will give you it's a 4-digit key code for cold storage.
Very good. Sam will look suspiciously at the others.
Carlo is going to step towards Sam. Detective, is it?
It is.
My name is Carlo Grimaldi. Look, detective, I will not lie. I am an ex-con. I have done time in prison before. But we're all in this together. I'm your man. Seems like you could use an extra set of hands, and I'm here to help.
Okay, Carlo, you said it was?
That's right.
All right, well, pleasure to have you aboard, Carlo. And, Peaches. You said you could fix a junction box?
I'll do my best.
Okay. Anybody else want to volunteer to head over there? I can't promise it'll be safe. I can promise you will get wet.
It is our destiny, detective.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Jim pipes up and says, "Listen, I'd be happy to help, but I'm gonna need my shotgun if I'm gonna be doing anything else, and that's over in my truck."
Does anybody else here have a firearm in their vehicle?
The others, no one responds.
All right, now, and I'll ask, and of course, because of the Second Amendment, you're all well within your rights to answer in the affirmative to this question. And Carlo, even if you're not, I'll look the other way. But I need to know, is anybody else carrying a firearm on their person?
Detective, I have a firearm.
Okay.
Peaches, you know how to handle that thing?
I do, Carlo.
Cool. I was just asking. It's you look like you can.
I promise I can. I've got a flashlight in my car, detective. I'll grab that, and then in case the lights go out.
Hey,
Doctor,
Jim, you just got the shotgun. You got any other weapons maybe in your vehicle?
Well, I do have a baseball bat, just in case I need to break open a window or something like that.
Hey, that sounds like the sort of thing that we might need. Here, I'll come with you.
All right. Yeah. I mean, my it's over on the other side, but we should be able to get to it no problem. That water doesn't look too deep.
Uh,
what temperature would you say it is outside, Brett?
It's probably in the 70s. So it's not.
Okay.
Yeah,
So there's not. Okay. So there's not a hypothermia.
Not like it's
risk.
freezing water.
Yep,
I mean,
yep. Okay.
How hale and hearty does Jim look? Does he look like he can make that journey by himself?
Yeah. No. Jim's a very solid, sturdy looking guy. Very.
Right.
I mean, the definition of blue collar.
I tell you what, Jim, you go get both of those things, and I'll meet you at the. I'll meet you with the rest of us.
All right. And he'll kind of poke his way outside.
Doctor, do you have any additional flashlights here?
I believe so. Nurse, there's a couple of flashlights at the nurse's station, as well as I believe that there might be some equipment in the break room that's further down the hall. That key card should give you access to pretty much every room except for Dr. Strong's office.
Okay, why don't we take a look at the break room? Meanwhile, why don't you gather the flashlights the nurse has? Anybody who wants to come see what's in the break room, follow me.
All right.
I'll be right there, detective. And
I have to
I'm
attend to the patient still with Dr. Strong, but we are in the room directly next to this waiting room. I'll start to reveal some areas for you.
Sam will head into the hallway to wherever we were directed that the
All right.
break room is.
Yeah, the hallway's here. Entering the rest of the hospital, where you see that there is it is a ghost town in here. It's quite eerie, the fact that there seems to be just nothing, no one's around.
I'll definitely take the opportunity to take a look for a medical kit. Some kind of. They usually have them in either near a nurse's station or near a bathroom.
Okay, give me a scrounging roll.
Mm-hmm. So success. That's 0.
Okay. You poke your head into one of the exam offices while the others make their way to the break room. And I'm sorry, is Peaches? Are you joining everybody else on there?
I'd be running out to my car real quick to grab my flashlight before I rejoin them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I think let's do that then first, as these guys are making their way into the guts of the hospital. So you and Jim kind of step out into the rain, and you see there's some debris and such floating around in the water, and this water looks to you.
Yeah.
It looks fairly deep.
Yeah, I can. Let me roll. I see where you're going. Let me roll self-control.
Well, I rolled for you on this one, and
never mind.
you've succeeded. So you're fine for now. I mean, your car's pretty close by. And Jim says, "Well, I'm right behind you."
Yeah. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna grab my toolkit as well. So I'll grab the flashlight, the toolkit. Yeah, that's all. And I already have the handcuffs. That's all I'll grab.
Okay.
And then
so
once I have my flashlight, I'll help Jim get the stuff out of his car.
All right. Well, so it's interesting that as you're saying that. So as you're getting stuff out of your vehicle, and the water is up to your waist, Jim says, hold on there, son. Look at that. And he points at a kind of just a bunch of debris that's floating around in the middle of the parking lot. Oh shit! We need to get inside now.
Yes, Jim, but we need this flashlight, and I need my tools. Let's grab this, and then let's get inside, okay, buddy?
Yeah, we do, but and he gestures. That debris that's floating closer and closer is not debris. That is an alligator, the size, roughly half the size of your Bronco. This has been Tales from the Milkwood Lounge, a GURPS Horror actual play podcast, created and developed by me, your host, Brett Calhoun. Please remember to like and subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and look forward to seeing you again soon.